Right. The second game of the day, probably the much more awaited game of the day, is the Lakers taking on the Clippers. They're pretty much the one and two seeds in the West,
Yeah.
or they should be. They perform like it or not is a different topic altogether.
Yeah.
But they should be the one and two seeds. How do you see that one going? How do you think the Lakers will line up today, given that they've refurbished their squad entirely as well, keeping the
Yeah.
two big pieces in AD and LeBron, and also the third piece maybe in KCP. But they've got a bunch of people now. Mark Gasol, Harrell, they've got Schroeder.
Yeah.
I lose account of the people they've
Wes
added. So how do you
Matthews.
think the Lakers?
Yeah.
Wes Matthews,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
How do you think the Lakers will line up today? Do you think LeBron will go all in and make a statement
I
right from the word go, or
No,
he's just going to?
I'd be surprised. I mean, they've
Mhm.
already made the statement. They're defending champs. Even before tip off, they're going to make a statement with the banner going up and the rings on their fingers. I'd be really surprised if I see LeBron play heavy minutes, um,
Mhm.
because it's the shortest off season ever. He's not getting any younger, and 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 really, why go all out at this early stage?
Mhm.
I'd much rather see LeBron. In fact, now it would be a good time if LeBron wants to load manage, because they've really stacked that squad. Last season, they needed LeBron to play heavy minutes and dominate the playmaking. They've really stacked their squad now. They've got scoring, they've
Right.
added Harrell, they've added Schroeder, they've got playmaking, they've added Schroeder. They've brought KCP back, they re-signed Kuz, really made all of the moves that they need to make. They've got Mark Gasol for rim protection and spacing the floor. And they've got Anthony Davis, who already was a
Mhm.
top five, top three maybe player in the world, um, who has now tasted blood. He's got a ring on his finger. That's got to be some level of motivation. And I really think if LeBron takes it easy throughout the regular season and paces himself for
Mhm.
the playoffs, we could probably be looking at an MVP season from Anthony Davis,
Right.
at least right up there, like a top three MVP
Mhm.
season. He really is that guy, and he can carry this Lakers team throughout the regular season, no problem, because he's all that Giannis is and more at this stage. Because he's got an
Mhm.
outside game. He can put the ball on the floor. He's not
Yep.
quite the passer that Giannis is. I think Giannis is definitely a better playmaker than AD is, but neither of them are Jokic or Luka, right? So I
Right.
won't I won't lean too much on that aspect of their game. Um, I honestly think I'll be surprised if LeBron gets too many minutes. But what I
Mhm.
am interested in seeing is how all of the other pieces mesh together. How's Harrell going to play against the Clippers? Because he's never one to have a quiet game, right? He can have a bad game, but he's never going to shortchange you on effort. So there's
Right.
that. There's Dennis Schroeder aching to go, to pop off, maybe even get a start, or at least get major minutes and show what he can do. KCP's got to earn back the respect that to an extent he earned in the finals. There's a lot of angles here, but then there's the Clipper side of things, right? And
Right.
Kawhi, I'm sure, has been just aching to go out and kind of shut people up once again. Paul George's taken so many hits that you would imagine he'd want to come up and show up big. So
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to this clash. There's a lot of side stories here. The outcome really doesn't matter. Whoever wins it, I won't really look at that and say this is indicative of how the rest of the season will go. I'm really interested in all the mini battles that are going to be fought on the floor.
Yeah, and that was my next question. How will the Clippers go at it? Because Kawhi is must be itching to go out
Yeah,
and prove to the world that he was the best player in the league before last season, and LeBron just came and took away the title from him. So, is he still that player? That remains to be seen. Paul George, we know that he's a good player, but all that we know him now is hitting the sideboard. So,
yeah,
Paul George is very keen on going and making a difference. I'm sure. Serge Ibaka, he's won
yeah,
a title with Kawhi Leonard at
yeah.
the Toronto Raptors.
Hmm.
So with that, uh, is he an upgrade over Harrell? Is something that remains to be seen. They got in Luke Kennard, who's
Yeah.
kind of young and kind of
Mm.
keen to make a mark himself, right? So the Clippers also, despite having the two big pieces, I think are a different unit like the Lakers,
Yeah.
and I'm sure they would want to put in a better performance than we've seen of the Clippers from the last season.
Yeah, I mean, again, I know the media loves to hype these things up, but it's a significantly changed squad there too in the
Mm-hmm.
Clippers, and they've got a new coach. You're coming off
Yep.
of a break, first game back. Media is going to hype this up to no end.
Right.
But I think these players know better. And also, even if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard pop off and they butcher the Lakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are still going to look at this and say, "Yeah, we've seen this movie before.
Right.
Bright start, finish top two in the West, fizzle out in the playoffs. We've seen this movie before.
Mm-hmm.
A lot like
Yep.
Giannis, the Clippers really only have a point to prove in the postseason. We know they're good in the regular season. We know they're good for it. Every time they turn
Mm-hmm.
up, that squad's special. Where they're really going to be tested is what can you do in the postseason, right? And you have all of this time to sort your shit out, for the coach to figure out what offense to run, how to run it, for Ibaka to piece together with Paul George and Kawhi. Can they become the big three there?
Mm-hmm.
We've got all of the regular season. So I'm really not, media's going to hype this up to no end, but I'm not really too fussed about the outcome. Like I said, I'm interested in all the mini battles. I'm interested in Harrell versus PG if they get an opportunity to guard each other, right? How does that play out?
Right.
And
Yep.
I'm really interested in all the mini battles. That's really all I'm looking forward to in this game.
Of course, it's going to be great viewing. Either ways, I mean, whoever wins this, I think we're going to enjoy it. First of all, because the game is back. We've been wanting to see this from a long time
Yeah.
now, and well, it's a great matchup anyway. So it's going to be fun.
As long as we can listen, as long as we can get Jared Dudley out there shooting threes in the fourth quarter, I think we're good. It's fine if it's a blowout, I'll take it. But all the world needs right now is Jared Dudley coming out shooting a three, acting like that's a dagger in the NBA Finals. That's all we need, really.
Well, he's a part of the big three of the Lakers, so
Yeah.
you can't keep him silent for
Yeah.
long.